Welcome to Sunset Hill County Park. This is one of my favorite parks. I started hiking here around 1998 when I moved out to Porter County from Lake County from Whiting. And they used to have all these festivals here, and at these festivals they used to have nature rides and wagons, and I really enjoyed that. I can't remember the man's name, but anybody who's done them remembers him. And he taught me, I would say, how to interact with people. He taught me about nature stuff, but the most important thing was interacting with people. So right out there is Sunset Hills Farms, Sunset Hill. And over here is the sunset, which is going to be happening. It's about 5 after 8 right now. This whole area here is beautiful at the fall. The trees are just incredible, the colors. So anyway, I have some interesting things coming up. We have partnered with HealthLink, and it's a great organization with 13 clinics, a mobile clinic, and 2 dial-in telehealth systems. And we're going to have 5 hikes together, and anyone's welcome to join it. And the hikes are going to be starting July 10th, then the 17th, the 24th, the 31st, and the 7th. They're all going to begin at 7 p.m. to keep it simple. So the first location is West Beach. So we're going to take the 250 plus stairs of Diana the Dunes dare and get to the beach and see the sunset and return. We're going to go to, we're going to go to the Indiana Dunes State Park, meet at the pavilion, and we're going to see do a little walk, probably the bird observation platform, and then see the sunset. We'll figure it out when we get there. And for those that want to continue longer, a course that can piggyback into a twilight, starlight, moonlight, flashlight, laser light, satellite hike at the state park, and then that could continue on to Kemmel Beach, which is open 24 hours a day. So after 11 at the state park, we could go there. So that's the 17th at the state park. The 24th is at Kemmel Beach, and so it's going to begin at 7 again. And we're probably going to go maybe do the Dune Ridge Trail or part of it quickly, and then go to the beach to see the sunset. And then, like I said, afterwards, we could do all kinds of stuff around there, which I won't go into now. So, and they're open 24 hours a day. So then we have the next week, which is the 31st, if I have it correct, and it's going to be Central Avenue Beach. And there is an incredible, so you get to see where the 5 campsites are, the walk-in campsites, and you're going to be able to see how they're all isolated from each other. There used to be former homes there that were bought by the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore and taken down. That's what it was called at the time. Of course, we became the Indiana Dunes National Park in 2019, if I have that right. So then the last hike, which is August 7th, we will be going to the Mount Baldy parking lot, and we'll be taking the beach trail to the beach. Then we will head west to Kinsdale Ditch. Kinsdale Ditch is man-made, and it's from the watershed, and depending upon how much rain we've had, or in the winter, how much snow, how much water is in that watershed. That waterway is like a raging river coming out. Sometimes it's turning like this and this and this. Like, you just don't know why did it make that turn. And you get to experience the best quicksand in the business in the dunes. And you say, what do you mean by that? When you have sand that is super saturated with water, it appears to be solid sand. So let's say you're walking in the water, and under the water you see this, what appears to be sand. And you take a step and it comes up to here, say, past your calf. So anyway, that's going to be the H7. I'm going to probably do a whole bunch of tours because people like that buzzword, and they like being a part of a series. Like, they got to watch this Netflix series, so we're going to do hiking series. So that's about all I have to say here at Sunset Hills County Park. I'm gonna call up. Let's see if it works. So this phone has satellite signal. It doesn't have cell signal, and I just want to let you know that Google Maps does work without cell signal. You want to download the local area maps so that when it's got this little blue dot, it knows where it is. And if I come down here, you'll see, you might not see, but it says Sunset Hills Farm. So you could do directions, how do you get to wherever. So anyway, that works. Now, I've never tried this, so this is going to be live on camera. What 3 words? Does what 3 words work? And it appears that it does. At this stage, at this podium, the 3 words are snuggled, valleys, modify. So I'm going to hit save. And what's that label? It's Sunset Hills Farm, County Park, podium at Amphitheater. And there we have it. It's saved. So what 3 words is a great app, which everyone's got to learn to use. Every 10-foot square, in fact, there's almost looks like there's 10-foot squares here. They've identified every 10-foot square on the surface of the earth with 3 words. So I'm going to go over here, up here rather, and I'm here, over here, and the words are refrain, afternoon, frowned. And I'm going to say behind podium at Sunset Hill Farm. Okay, so what is so cool about this is, if there's an emergency, you can call this app up and say refrain, afternoon, frowned. If you misspeak, like if you said refrain, afternoon, downed, or they mishear you, they can do auto correction, because they could say refrain, afternoon, there is no downed, but there is a refrain, afternoon, frowned, and it's in Northwest Indiana, Porter County, where they're calling from. So it is correctable. Try to do longitude and latitude. There's so many numbers, you're gonna mess up, and you're gonna give them a digit and they're gonna go to Iowa. So quick story, my final story. There was a great fire out west, and it was either Arizona or California, and there was something like 12 firefighters. And they were all equipped, someone had one or more people had a brick at that time, which is a box which has accurate GPS information, longitude and latitude. And just so you know, in order for satellite to work, you have to have line of sight with the satellite. If you're in a forest, there might not be any. But anyway, so these 12 guys were out, and all of a sudden the fire turned on them. Now, GPS, What Three Words uses GPS as well as this brick thing. They were not able to get to call a helicopter quick enough, or there wasn't two helicopters if they weren't large enough to get there. So they pulled out their emergency shelters, which are flame retardant, flame reflective, little things that you can get in, little like tents. And unfortunately, that wasn't good enough, and they all passed away. Now, time is critical. So had they had What Three Words, they might have been able to get that out quicker, and the rescue people would know precisely within 10 square feet, and it's accurate. They could drop a rope down or ladder, and they could pull the people up. So, last thing about What Three Words, it was developed by two men in London, is what I was told, and their idea was they're going to give it free to everybody, the general public, and they're going to charge corporations. For example, they're going to charge for the front step of Apple, and it's going to be, they're going to sell, let Apple pick the name. Apple was cool. They'd never pick that name, but let's say that's what they pick. And then they pay $50,000 a year to maintain them. Well, then, the Chicago Cubs, they could have at the door entrance, the main entrance to Wrigley Field, win, whatever they wanted, those three words. Well, unfortunately, the corporations, organizations, whatever, did not buy many of them. So they were struggling financially. So there's this little German car company called Mercedes-Benz. They saw this technology, loved it. They said, we're incorporating it into our vehicles. Once Mercedes did it, all the lemmings followed. All the people started using it. In fact, in California, elsewhere, all over the world now, people are adopting What Three Words because it's fast, it's accurate, it's specific. And as an example, and it can work indoors if there is anyway, I have gotten to work indoors. I'm not saying it's going to work all the time. So you could say, I'm going to meet you on Trail 9 for a picnic. So tell me, how do you tell your friends where to meet them on Trail 9? Oh, you go past this oak, and you know where the prickly pear cactuses are? Well, it's 100 meters past there. No, you can tell them. You can give them the What Three Words, and they know precisely where to meet you. So you could have a picnic, and I've done this on the beaches where I don't tell people where it is. I give them What Three Words, and they got to figure it out. And this app is so much fun to use. I look at that. If you look at What Three Words labels all over, you'll see some pretty interesting spots. They thought it was interesting that we got to label it. So that's another cool thing about it. If someone's labeled a 10-foot square, it's probably pretty important to them and maybe to others. So that's all. I'm going to look at the sunset. Remember the hikes. Go to, you can call 219-370-9119. And you can listen to a 3-minute voicemail. It's a message, outgoing message. And it lists the upcoming hikes. You can also text and say, hey, Brian, are you having a hike tonight? Like, for example, if someone would have texted me earlier, I would have said, yeah, I think I'm going to do a hike. I think it's going to be around 8 o'clock because I'm at Sunset Hills. Facebook.com/Indiana Dunes Hiking has got thousands of photos, thousands of posts. And it's a blog of the Indiana Dunes and a total of over 42 locations, 42 park locations. Like the national park spread out across many. State parks only got one location. Shirley Hines got a whole bunch of them in 6 counties. Then we have Porter County Parks. We have LaPorte County Parks. We have town parks, Coffee Creek Watershed. We have Chesterton has the Bird Migratory Sanctuary. I always mess up the name, but it's by Chesterton High School. And there are there's parks by cities, there's parks counties, there's parks state, there's park nationally, then there's DNR properties, the moraine, which is really cool. Anyway, I've just seen 5 lightning bugs, 6, 7, 8 lightning bugs. So this is gonna be cool. I never thought about that. So I'm gonna sign out. Take care. Have a great day. I hope to see you on some hikes. Bye.